Good afternoon, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to Jays Latest. I am your host, Craig Borden, and I'm coming to you afternoon game today, which unfortunately did not turn out the way that the Blue Jays fans would have appreciated, but we're going to talk about it anyways. So, first things first, we would be, you know, not doing our job here if we were actually not going to talk about what is obviously the biggest elephant in the room for all Toronto Blue Jays fans. And the fact is that there is quote unquote still rumors flying around of the 15-year deal for Vlad Jr. somehow still being imminent. Um, it's been reported in Sports Illustrated, which I'll take with a grain of salt, and a bunch of other places, but I still don't get it. I really don't. I want to see Vlad as a Blue Jay for the rest of his career, but I just don't see these rumors helping anything, especially with the product that we're putting on the field right now, because right now, he ain't worth 15 mil or 15 seasons at $500 million. Not worth it at the moment from what this team is seeing. And it makes you wonder if this team would be better off with what we've seen the last few days of nuking it and starting over. Who knows? Right now, it's a complete toss up. I don't know what to do. Blue Jays fans don't know what to do. As we went from having a piece of things that might seem like a team last week, we were riding pretty damn high heading into this series against the Mets as we went to Queens. But all things considered, the Blue Jays were right off of a sweep of the Washington Nationals. And here we are getting swept in Queens for the home opener for the New York Mets. And the thing that kills me the most is that two of these games of the three were easily winnable. It was about keeping a lead, maintaining some hits, stringing along a couple of other, runners in scoring position, because we haven't talked about that one to death, for 2 years straight now. But let's just dive into it and talk to it. So, first things first, like I said, we were swept, but we do not want to go out and say that everything was a miss. Bowden Francis was once again on the top of his game, and I cannot say enough good things of what Bowden Francis has turned into as a Blue Jays pitcher. His splitter was nasty today. 6 hits, gave up 2 runs, two walks and 6 strikeouts. Those 2 runs were nothing short. It was 1 inning really for the Mets. They got to him, got a couple runners on, kept things moving, and ended up being a Pete Alonso single that drove in both runs. So I can only blame so much on that. Pete Alonso, obviously a major league hitter, but it was a ground ball. It wasn't like it was anything monstrous or anything like that, but it did bring in, Hayden Senger and a few others and whatnot. So tis what it is. But I just can't say enough good things about Bowden Francis because, like I said, that 1 inning was one thing. The rest of this, he was lights out. So against a team with the Mets that obviously has, aspirations of being one of the best in Major League Baseball, they did not head into this series though as a team that was looking like it was going to be one of the best in baseball. And the Blue Jays actually did a pretty damn good job over the last few days keeping them in check, allowing just 9 runs over the series. Obviously, the blowout on Friday being the bigger problem on that whole thing. But to that point, it was a series that was winnable for 2 games for the Toronto Blue Jays, and we didn't find a way to win that. But the pitching for the starting rotation was on point the entire time. That is what I want everybody to make sure they are understanding. There is a chance for this team to win ball games when we're only going to be, within a couple of runs or so, like this game today for a prime example. So how do we win? Oh, that's right. You got to take to our next topic, which is you actually have to hit the ball. So, only 4 hits for the Blue Jays today, and Alejandro Kirk in the DH spot had 2 of them, and Tyler Heineman had the other and only run scored for the team today. And if you want to talk how the Blue Jays scored their runs, this is where the fun, ridiculous is of today. It was a bases loaded job with Andres Jimenez actually got hit by a pitch and the run scored. So the Mets literally gifted us a run today. Let that one sink in as this team went again 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Not from a lack of trying, but 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. And I believe it was 2 for 14 yesterday. This team has to find a way to wheel some of these guys around the pillows to be able to get something going to support what this pitching staff has been doing. Because, like I said, the starting pitching has been lights out. I do want to give credit where credit is due because I did blast the bullpen in yesterday's episode. Chad Green looked awesome today out of the bullpen. And who else was in it today? Oh, and I put Brandon Little on blast. It was the night and day thing with him again today. He had 2 strikeouts in his inning of work, but Chad Green got it, 5 outs. He only gave up 1 hit. So that was the difference maker in that, as the Blue Jays only needed to pitch 8 innings today, playing in home for a win for the Mets. So, but it's just this hitting cannot be supported in a lineup with the Blue Jays bottom of the lineup being the only catalyst for offense with Alan Roden, Miles Straw, Tyler Heineman, insert name here. The Mashers got to get going. At least Santander drew 2 walks today. Bo Bichette's been hitting. Vladdy has been hitting. Took a walk again today too, but they're all batting below 300 very well, except for Bo Bichette. Andres Jimenez, who got off to a hard start, had the only RBI as mentioned today, 2 strikeouts as well. But yeah, you can't rely on the batting average leaders for this team to be Miles Straw and company like that. Alan Roden batting 318. But there was a bright spot. We were hoping that George Springer wasn't terribly injured, didn't hit the IL or anything, and he actually pinch ran today. So there is a point there that obviously if his back was bothering him that bad, he wouldn't have been pinch running. So that is a little bit of a bright spot. So that's the series for the Blue Jays in Queens at Citi Field today. And like I said, it bookended a horrible series on offense, just enough pitching, and I'll say missed opportunities in general. But things could get better. We're going to go play a team that is pretty much on par with how good we've been playing and has all sorts of infighting, injuries, all these things going on in the Boston Red Sox. So is the trip to Fenway the chance for this team to hit the reset button on offense, bank a few balls off the Green Monster, take advantage of some of that short left field, or just hit some doubles into that ridiculous gap in center field? It could be. We will see how that works out for the Blue Jays, but that is the opportunity the Blue Jays have going into Boston this week for, like I said, a team that is about as good up and down as we have been this season. Right now, as the time of this recording, it is in the 10th inning of the Red Sox game, and they haven't been able to close the door on that one, and it's just what it is. But at the end of the day, that is still the bigger piece to things here. Blue Jays obviously now 5-5, looking to take that next piece back, as they will have Easton Lucas, who had an amazing outing in his first substitute for Max Scherzer in. He's going to be facing a youngster. I'm having trouble getting it to come up right now, but 2 seconds. Richard Fitz, youngster for the Boston Red Sox, right-handed pitcher, did pretty good in his last start. Only got 6 innings, 3 earned runs, but not anything to write home about. I would say as a major league average start, and picked up the loss with those 3 earned runs. But it looks like he's going to be around the plate, so hopefully that means that the Blue Jays can actually finally get some hits to drive in some runs, not just get hits to get on base. And let's just bang up the wall, kill the Green Monster, and take advantage of some of that stuff. It'd be nice to see Tony Taters take advantage of that Penske pull down the right field line and see if he can get a left field home run or right field home run. Lefty's obviously very favored with that short porch, and with the Green Monster and right, if you're a righty or left, I mean, he can take advantage of hitting that over. So that's what's going on, Blue Jays fans. Thank you very much for tuning in. We love the fan participation we've been getting here on Jays Latest. Make sure you like, share, follow, and subscribe to the show. We greatly appreciate you here, and we will talk to you soon. Lights up. Let's go, Blue Jays.